You've seen how fast it goes, and now, coming up, is the price you pay for all that oomph. See, it's all very well getting 400 brake horsepower out of the engine. The problem is nailing all those horses down. I mean, the clutch, for instance. It's hopeless. It can handle the power just fine. But every time you set off, it stalls. Then there's the turning circle, which is worse than Jupiter's, and the ride, which can break your legs. But worse than all of this, is the turbo lag. We've already seen that this little car can keep up with a Lamborghini. So you would imagine that it would make absolute mincemeat of a rented 1.6-litre Fiat Stilo estate. OK, we're both in top gear, we're both doing 30 miles an hour. Let's see what happens when we both put our foot down. Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. I can't keep up. My foot is welded to the floor. Welded. If I pushed any harder, I'd be through the firewall. And the rented Fiat, look, is pulling away. This is the trouble with fitting a gigantic turbo. Unless you're in the right gear at the right time, you have no performance at all. I'm catching him now. Here comes the turbo. Here it comes. Here it comes. And we're out of runway. 1.7-mile runway, and I never caught it. There are some other problems with this car too, like it costs £47,000 and it'll only run on Shell Optimax petrol, and it does 4 miles to the gallon when you cane it, and you have to service it every 4,500 miles. Mind you, the tyres will only last 4,000 miles before they wear out, and I hate the stereo as well. Look at it, stupid flashing lights. What's that all about? This car, I think, is a bit like Jordan. I can see why they did it. Bit of a laugh, but I think they've gone too far. I think it's all just a bit too silly. Oh, damn it. Yes. And I haven't finished yet, because this spoiler, for instance, they put on this model, it does something to the air when you're barrelling along, and it peels off the sort of wheel arch liner. So as you go over 100, this car undresses itself. Happily, however, you can save yourself a fortune and buy an Evo 8 with either a 340 brake horsepower engine, or 320, or 300, or 260. And these cars, these ones, they offer you 95% of the thrills with none of the drawbacks. Absolutely. Now, the 320 version has already been round our track with the Stig, and he managed to get it, where is it? It's here, 1 minute 26, so between a Lamborghini Gallardo and a Ferrari 575 GT. So, it's time to find out what it can do with another 80 horsepower. Let's hand it over to the Mitza Stiggy. Off the line and a bit of wheel spin, because even though it's four-wheel drive, the Evo's vicious power overwhelms the tyres. Looks like he's having a bit of trouble there in the first corner, a bit wobbly on the way in, but much better on the way out. Absolutely. Who are you? Playing musical tribute there to our guest this week. Chicago getting a little bit sideways. This car really does love to drift. Now the hammerhead, hard on the brakes, turn in. What do we got? Looks like understeer there. It's off the boost. He's dropped off the boost. He's hardly moving at all. Right now, down to follow through, much faster now. This is where the brutal on-boost power of the Evo should shine. Yes, it's very greasy out there today. The active diff shifting the power around to keep it together. Into the last corner now. And here he comes. And across the line in. Yes. 1 minute 24.8. So quick. It is quick. It's 1.2 seconds quicker than that one. But that one, I maintain, the 320, is still the one to buy.